In the last lecture, we saw how sort and sort by can be used. In this lecture, we will see how the filter function can be used. Now, if you remember, in the weekend example, I gave you a short introduction of how the filter function works. But this time, let's do it in a little more detail. Here's the problem statement. We have 18 transactions, we have the shipping mode, and we have the sales amount. What we want is simply the first class transactions where the sales value is between 0 to 400. So if I say equal to A9 colon A26 equal to first class, what result would you expect? You would expect a series of trues and false, which would be like this. Makes sense, right? If I again say equal to the sales amount is greater than equal to 0, we get a series of trues, obviously, because all the numbers are greater than 0. But if I make it 200, you notice that some of these become true and some of these become false. And we can do the same thing one more time, where we say that D9 to D26 is less than equal to G5, and we get some trues and no false because all the numbers are less than 1 second. D9 to D26. I'm sorry, this has to be C9 to C26. So you get some trues and you get one false here because this number is greater than 400. Now, if I multiply the first one with the second one with the third one, we will get a series of zeros and ones. Now, you might wonder why we did not have to do a unary operator, but that's just the way it works because this time you're multiplying three corresponding columns, not adding up all the true and false in a single column. Multiplying them will actually result in a 1 and a 0, not in a true and a false. Right? Now, when are we getting a 1? When all the three columns have a true in it, like this. So even if there is a single false, like in this one, there are two trues but one false, the result will come as a 0. So when we get this result, what is it telling us? It is telling us that wherever there is a 1, that's the record that we are interested in. So if you look carefully, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's actually the next one. 1 second. Let me do that once again. So we have this one, we have this one, and then we have this one, and then finally this one. These four records meet all the conditions, which mean that it is first class shipping mode and the sales amount is greater than 0 and less than equal to 400. How do we combine all of this in a filter function? Let me do that once again. We can write filter. Our array is all the three columns. What do we want to include? We want to say that A8, A26 is equal to A2. This has to be multiplied by C8, C26, which is greater than or equal to 0. And this has to be multiplied again by C8, C26, less than or equal to 400. And the result will be this. So we're getting first class, the name, and the sales amount. Let's just copy the headings once again. And what is it telling me? That these are the four records which are in first class shipping with a value between 0 to 400. If I say the value should be between 200 and 400, there are only two transactions that meet this condition. If I change it to standard class, it will tell us that there are 6 transactions that are standard class and between 200 to 400. You get the idea, right? Now, this is very handy because the filter function means that you don't have to go back to the original data set, apply a filter, create a different sort on every single column, and then copy and paste it in a new location. You can use a single dynamic filter function to extract the results as and how you require. There is no limit to the number of inclusions you can add. I'm sorry, you don't put a comma here. You can put as many multiplications as you want to, like this. So you can have as many columns as a condition that you want to. And remember, one column can be used as multiple conditions as well. For example, in our case, we are using column C as two conditions. The first one being that the number is greater than 0, and the next one being that the number has to be less than 400.